Welcome back on a Tuesday morning. Director Spike Lee was here yesterday telling us about his new movie, The BlacKkKlansman, the unbelievable but true story of an African-American detective who went undercover and infiltrated the Klu Klux Klan. Well, Topher Grace plays David Duke, the Klan's grand wizard, who was at the center of the investigation. Take a look.
The true white American race, the backbone from whence came our great Southern heritage. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for never putting your country second. America first. America first. America first.
Topher, good morning.
Morning.
Well, a lot of our viewers are going to know you from the 70s show, and this is about as far away from that as you could possibly get.
Slightly more racism.
Yeah, I mean, was that intimidating to take on, to think, I'm going to play this controversial figure, these words are so ugly, and they're coming out of your mouth? I mean, that must have been kind of terrifying. It was one of the great days of my career. You get this call from Spike Lee, and he says, I want you to, you're my guy. I was so excited. So that was a great day. And then I realized, oh, wait, the next month is going to be the worst month of my life, because I wound up, having to do the worst research ever. I was going to say, you're researching, so you're reading his book. I know you read his book. Had to be watching speeches.
Like, to say I read his book, it's like it's a doorstop, and it is so overwhelmingly negative. It's like his Mein Kampf. And then I watched a lot of filmed interviews, and he was actually on Donahue a couple times in the early 80s. And that was the best thing, to see him with a crowd that hated him. And this is what's so evil about him, is he's actually he's even good with that crowd.
Well, you know what's funny about your portrayal, I got to see the movie, is that in a weird way, it's so understated. Like, he says these incredibly hateful and awful things, but you kind of present him in this, I guess I say understated, kind of, dare I say, likable way.
Well, this is what's so evil about him, and continues to be so evil about him, is that he, at this period of time in the 70s, put a new face on racism. He kind of rebranded it and made it more palatable. So kind of the nicer he is, I always felt like that made him more evil.
Did you ever reach out to him, or did he reach out to you?
No, I did not reach out to him. People are asking now if I want to talk to him, and I'm like, oh my God, no. I mean, not now. I know he called Ron Stallworth, the man who the film is based on.
It's Ron Stallworth's true story.
Yeah, and he called him, I think, 2 or 3 nights ago.
Wow.
So I feel like I might come off bad in the film. Too late now, buddy.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. We're not going to edit it now. It comes out on Friday.
Yeah. What's also interesting about the film is that it's actually kind of funny. It's not a comedy. I wouldn't call it a comedy, but it's humorous. There's a lightness to its touch.
Well, this is what's so brilliant about Spike Lee, is he is able to take the subject matter that's so heavy and kind of open it up to more people, so his message gets out there. It's more, it's a fun movie,
yeah,
and it's also like devastating at the same time.
It is. I heard you had a kind of unusual way of de-stressing.
It's got a little bit too much press.
Okay, but it's too late now. You got to tell us.
In my free time, sometimes, this is only the geekiest hobby to have, but I will edit films, not films I'm in. I have no want to be an editor. I work with great editors who are much better than me, but I thought, like, you could edit together the whole Hobbit movie.
Oh my gosh,
so stupid.
It's adorable.
Yes,
so you take like the whole 6 hours or whatever and make it a 2-hour film?
There's a lot more than that.
Film?
There's like 9 hours of Hobbit, and it was so depressing. This research was like, I mean, you got to ask my wife. I was like tough to live with. We'd actually just had a baby, our first, and like, I was practicing my lines around the house, and she said, "Hey, can you cool it on the hate speech? Like, you just had a child."
Gosh.
So I had to find some way to just kind of like go into the basement and like just relax and kind of detox. It was fun. When we shot it, it was really fun. It was all the research that you have to do to kind of become the person.
Yeah, you have to internalize all that stuff.
I'm not a method actor. I don't get like so into my work all the time or take it home with me. But this one I got it's just overwhelmingly depressive. The ideas that just being in his head is It's just not a place you want to be.
No. Well, you talked about your baby. There's nothing that can put a smile on your face like a new baby, and she's almost a year. Or
She's
like
9
10
months.
Oh, 9 months. Okay.
And that was actually very therapeutic to have a baby that was born right at the beginning of filmmaking, or making this film. It's a confusing time.
Yeah.
To bring someone into the world. It's kind of to be able to be part of a film like this where you're able to kind of, it takes place in the 70s, but has way more to do with the current climate right now.
Well, I'm sure that you're hugging that baby hard. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I actually watched this show, so
That makes me
I'm
so
really
happy.
psyched to be here, yeah.
It's funny because he's like, I watched the Today Show. I'm like, no, really? You do?
Well, I used to TiVo it and watch it when I got up, and now I wait about 2 hours for it to come on because I have a kid. Yeah.
Exactly. It's cartoons or something.
Yeah.
Topher Grace, thank you. What a pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you.
BlacKkKlansman opens in theaters this Friday. Check it out.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.